Greetings to everyone. I'm Dr. Ling Ying-Leh, and I'm currently serving as a principal lecturer at Polytechnic Cochin Sarawak. I'm an educator, researcher, and a registered counselor. Thus, the experience, knowledge, and skills that I have always been towards equipping myself in order to be able to provide something meaningful and interesting to my students. I have a long teaching experience, especially in discrete mathematics. When the country went into the pandemic, my brain didn't stop to think of the alternative upper level to help my students since they couldn't learn face-to-face. So I began to think about the convenience of the technology and my own capabilities, as well as how to refer or relate to my interest in providing an appropriate learning and teaching platform in this pandemic situation. Thanks for giving me the chance to share my topics with the title Integration of Social Media Platform in Learning and Teaching for Discrete Mathematics. Before I continue, I must explain a little bit about the structure of the course. Discrete Mathematics is a course offered to ICT students. Although information technology students, however, they still face a lot of constraints in learning due to the lack of the facilities in their place of residence. Since the learning and assessment of the course is implemented entirely online throughout this pandemic, students should have the initiative to overcome the problems encountered. For my part, I need to ensure that the course content delivered is in line with the cluster of learning domains that have been set by the ministry and also the course learning outcome set. When I started the teaching process in the pandemic for the first time, various problems and constraints were encountered. One of the hardest for me is to engage the students' attention. I also couldn't determine if the students listened to what I was delivering to them. The person who listens is tired as well as the person who delivers it. Students are also confused by the various information presented to them. For your information, all the messages is delivered by the WhatsApp or Telegram just like that, and I consider the distribution of the messages through the WhatsApp or Telegram is very unsystematic and confusing. Accordingly, the teaching and learning process throughout the pandemic make it difficult to integrate the moral values and the soft skills effectively. I make and I work, yet I can't determine if it works. Therefore, I need to think of a new way to ensure what I plan is work. So after taking into the account my interest, knowledge, and the expertise, especially in developing a website that is a teaching and learning platform using Wix.com, I finally took the initiative to try to develop the new platform by integrating commonly used social media and online meeting platform. For me, this is necessary to help the students in tracking the monitor learning progress in a more flexible and organized manner. So to develop the quality online learning and teaching platform, the readiness of the students is something that should not be ignored or taken lightly. I'm the researcher, and it's my responsibility to determine the scope of readiness of the students covering the online communication self-efficacy, ICT self-efficacy, learner control, self-directed learning, and learning motivation among the students. To better understand the students' readiness, I will briefly describe each dimension under my consideration while developing this learning platform. The ability of the students to access the use of technologies about the ICT for online learning, namely ICT self-efficacy, should be my first priority. Our mindset that the ICT students do not have the problem in accessing the ICT for online learning is untrue, and they still needs to be guided to not only be able to use but also be able to communicate with each other using the computer mediated tools. The online learning platform developed should also take into account the extent to which the students are capable of utilizing the knowledge with learning goals. Therefore, continuous guidance is needed and should be continued so that they are motivated in the online learning environment. What I am displaying here is the main interface of my website developed using Wix.com with my own creativity. I make sure the colors and the font size chosen impact the online learning, and I want the students to be interested in browsing this platform more often. The slogan I display is to grab the chances, don't let go, every time reminding the students to appreciate every opportunities available. As a counselor, I emphasize students' inner strength for learning purposes, and I believe it has a longer lasting positive impact. Among the facility provided include group discussions appointments. I don't want them to send the messages just like that, and this may cause us to overlook. And this group discussion appointment also provide the students an opportunity to improve the discussion and communication skill before a decision is taken, as our students are too busy with other courses. I also believe they will become more mature and independent when they themselves take the initiative for an appointment. Next, the second one, know your instructor. I want to create a healthy lecturer-students relationship. I don't want to just use this excuse online, and it's hard to cultivate the close relationship between the students and the lecturer. Therefore, I want to introduce myself more closely to the students, and the students also take part in each other. Next one is the assessment. Clicking the assessment button will take the students to the required assessment page. And in this assessment, it displays all the information about the assessment conducted, examples, and also the students' answers. Here, I introduce myself to the students so that they are confident in my credibility as the lecturer, as my research found that it is important for the learners to know your expertise. Getting to know your lecturers is necessary before the good relationships are fostered between the lecturers and the students. At the same time, we also give the students the opportunity to introduce themselves, and this is important so that the students feel that the lecturers is not just teaching, but also we are trying our best to get to know them. So the students can participate through the Padlet in introducing themselves. To help myself to get to know the students as well, I set up the Padlets to encourage the students to display their photos and write the messages creatively. And all the messages has been compiled and also converted into the PDF format, and it can be downloaded from the website. During the pandemic, various academic events were also planned and implemented. Understanding the difficulty of the students accessing the internet sometimes, I also do the recordings for every event I organize and upload them to the YouTube. This is the assessment page as I mentioned earlier. Here, to my left, the students can download the questions and sample answers, and they can refer to the discussion in the video I uploaded to the YouTube. The students started to request me to upload more and more videos using the YouTube, and this showed that they have become more engaged in my way. So this is a motivation for me as well as to continue. On the right hand side, the students can send all the assessment answers through the Google Classroom, and they also upload all the presentation materials through the OneDrive that I provide. For everyone information, in the last semester, I have successfully planned and implemented a case study presentation seminar for all my students online in full. By just using this platform, I don't need to have any additional cost. What you see is the list of the 10 groups participated in this seminar, and all the information displayed becomes more organized through the website. The learning and teaching process was also implemented very interestingly during the previous semester. Students also take the initiative to do their best in their assessment. Here is the case study presentation from the students.
Lunch, we visit all the places to ensure we got the shortest path, and we redesign our trip to get the most appropriate distance.
On the next slide, this is our group members' contribution. Okay, for Mark.
That is how we overcome the problem that we face. So let's go to the orangutan mural.
We're almost done. Now we're at orangutan.
I have compiled and uploaded all the self-exercise in a very neat way for the students. Although learning throughout the pandemic could not be done face-to-face, My students managed to show their commitment to answering non-compulsory self-exercises. And all the questions and answers, as you can see from here, are provided, and the discussion video is also provided for the questions that I believe will be difficult, so that they can repeatedly watch the video for better understanding. Now, here are all the videos recording for all my lectures. So the notes provided can be downloaded from time to time, and it is easily to be found. So academic information is also displayed neatly. If you ask me, am I tired of preparing all this video recordingly, I only can say I did it because I like it. Last but not least, thank you so much, especially to my students, for allowing me to learn towards equipping myself better. Without them, what I provide is just useless. Every opportunity should not be missed. Thanks for giving me the chance also to share my story here with you all. Maybe my story isn't as great as everyone else, but it's a champion for myself. Thank you.